for the Supreme Court to clarify that because we submitted what we call a bill of information. And we believe at the time that once the Supreme Court clarifies it, everybody will go according to the rule of law. The Supreme Court made a clarification. I think even the smallest child that started school could understand what the Supreme Court said. It said for not taking over a speaker, any other thing that happened was illegal. Then the rules of the games shifted when the president said he will go by his original posture, which was to deal with a majority bloc. Okay? Once that changed, we had to assess our own participation in what is going on. And as we see it, after the caucus evaluated, with still those going up at the Capitol, with more armed men being called in as reinforcement, our choice was to either go tomorrow to the Capitol to have a repeat of some sort of violence, right? Or to avoid that. I think one of the things we try to do is to avoid it. The second thing is, you see Fonati Koffa, but you don't see the people standing behind Fonati Koffa. How long can I ask my 60 employees who have not been paid for 6 months to stay on? Okay, I have to evaluate that. How can I ask my colleagues who have endured this battle to stay on, especially when significantly we started to lose some of our most committed members after the president's statement. All of that led us to have a strategy session and a strategy meeting to say, what is the utility of holding on? Do I just continue to be a speaker sitting down at home while someone else is exercising the power and the privileges of the office? In my mind, I think that's not a wise use of my time.
We have a speculation that you took money to resign. How factual is this information?
But I think you said speculation. I will be, and surprisingly, it came from a rescue blogger. So he got to flesh out and bring more information. Let me tell you this. If I wanted to take money for this would not be the ideal time to take money, right? Because it's not as valuable as it was before the hearing, before the ruling, right? Before the ruling, if I had withdrawn my case and I wanted to sell it, that was the ideal time. So it doesn't make sense. What they are saying is, and it's anticipated. In Liberia, nobody do things out of principle. We sat here for 6 months, no pay, no nothing, nobody bringing any gas or anything. At the end of 6-7 months, and you can't say we took money. We could have taken money and spared the public. But there is no issue of money changing hands except the legitimate benefits, salaries and benefits of our colleagues.
Was there a proposal from your resignation? Was there any proposal forward to any out of the executive or any branch of government concerning your resignation? Proposal in terms of dealing with some of your colleagues?
Yes, we said we had a discussion with them that I intended to resign, that my request was that the salaries and benefits of my colleagues be paid.
Was that here too?
Partially, and then that precipitated another meeting with our colleagues directly, in which they got the assurances that they will be done fully.
What does this?
What about some of your employees who got arrested currently in Central Prison? What happened to that case?
Okay, so we will reiterate what we've always said. I cannot negotiate a criminal case in a political settlement. It appears that maybe I'm guilty of something. My request to the police, because the case has been treated so politically, is let's get international investigators to come and investigate the case, look at all the evidence, and whatever the report is, we will abide by it. But as long as it remains the way it is, it remains a political case. Let me give you an example. When we won the case at the Supreme Court, they called two of my colleagues. You need to come back for investigation. Okay, the colleagues go there, the same question they asked one of them that they asked him the first time. The day one of the newspapers came and said, oh, the speaker is resigning, the other colleague that was supposed to appear there, they said, oh, no, we need you again. Okay, so I mean, you can tell what's going on, and our request is let's internationalize it. Let's bring other professionals to look at it. Otherwise, anything you do will be political.
Honorable Speaker,
part of the negotiation.
I can negotiate the law, right? If I resign, that is the inevitable part of the law that a new speaker has to be elected. The vacancy got created at 12 p.m. today.
what does this mean for you as a president?
In the resolution, will there be election? Do you expect election to elect a new speaker?
But I just answered that question. That is the law. I can negotiate that. I can say if I resign, you will elect speaker. If I resign, a vacancy is created, and that vacancy, according to the constitution and our rules, is
What does this mean for you as a president?
there is a continuation of the lawlessness.
Why next for you? What become of your police? Your police that have trusted you.
Just say
Why next for you?
Next to me is my book. It's called From 1 to 73, The Conspiracy at the Capitol.
When you said that's it.